President Trump has announced a tariff hike on China to 125%, while granting other countries a 90-day reprieve from reciprocal tariffs. The news sent the New York stock market soaring and caused the Korean won to sharply strengthen against the dollar.
트럼프 미국 대통령이 중국에 대한 관세를 125%로 올리고 다른 나라들에게는 90일간 상호 관세를 유예하겠다고 선언했습니다. 관세 유예 소식에 뉴욕 증시가 폭등하고 원, 달러 환율은 급락했습니다. Okay, so every day it's like new news.
That's why you have to tune in to Evening Special.
That's why you have to listen to Evening Special.
Every day.
Every day, because we give you the latest updates. Okay, so our wonderful JBPD-님 has prepared a little clip of President Trump saying a little something about the tariffs.
I thought that people were jumping a little bit out of line. They were getting yippy, you know? They were getting a little bit yippy, a little bit afraid because we have a big job to do. No other president would have done what I did. No other president. I know the presidents, they wouldn't have done it. And it had to be done. What was happening to us on trade, not only with, you know, if you look at it, not only with China, but China was by far the biggest abuser in history, and others also, but somebody had to do it. They had to stop because it was not sustainable.
Okay, so basically these are his comments about the fact that he has paused the tariffs, right, for 90 days?
Yes,
Yeah.
most of the tariffs were paused for 90 days,
Yeah.
and it happened only 13 hours
Yes.
after they were initially in place.
Yeah, I woke up this morning, it was like, oh, it's been postponed.
Yeah, yeah.
So Cameron, he says this word that people were getting yippy and afraid.
Yeah, they were
Okay.
getting yippy. They were getting afraid, so we had to do something.
All right.
Yeah.
So we are curious, Y-I-P-P-Y. What does this word yippy mean?
So I will say, this is not a common word.
No.
And I was a little unsure about this word until I looked at the whole context. Yippy is kind of like a small dog
Like a chihuahua?
or a Pomeranian.
Pomeranian,
Yeah. You know
okay.
how they go, yip, yip,
They go,
yip, yip.
yeah.
It's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it can be cute. But if you say a person is yipping, it's like they're complaining.
They're complaining.
But they sound like a small dog.
This is not a nice word.
No, I usually hear it in the form yap.
Okay.
Y-A-P.
Yeah, the dog is yapping.
The dog is yapping,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
But he used the word yip.
Okay. So that's why he's saying, oh, people are getting yippy and they're afraid. So he had to postpone.
맞아.
Right?
네, 싫어.
Okay. So tell us what's going on.
Yes. So, like we said, there's this 90-day reprieve. 90일간 유예됐다고 했는데요. They will still have 10%.
The basic.
The basic 10%.
Okay.
But if you remember, Korea, according to these rules, had a 26% tariff, right?
Correct.
So that is much lower.
Okay.
However, not all countries. Specifically, China.
China.
You know those guys. Someone had to do something.
Okay. So it was at 104.
It was at 104.
But now?
네. 어제까지는 104%였는데 이제 125%예요.
또 올랐어요.
125%. And they said specifically because China was the only country that retaliated.
Yeah.
중국만 보복 조치를 취했어요.
Right.
So he's attacking them even harder
Yeah.
Because they were trying to fight back.
Yeah, and he was praising all the countries and saying, "Oh, yeah, they're very open to coming and negotiating with us. I'm very happy about that." But China, not so much.
Yeah.
But Wall Street was very happy.
Yes, Wall Street was. So the S&P 500 rose 9.52%, the Dow by 7.87%, the Nasdaq up 12.16%.
Okay.
So people owning stocks there were probably happy. But here in Korea as well.
Okay.
네, 코스피도 6.6%, 코스닥 5.97% 올랐어요.
Okay.
And if anyone is doing any currency trading, the Korean won to dollar ratio fell. So the
Yeah.
Korean won got stronger. 1,465 won to the dollar.
Yeah, I saw the exchange rate yesterday and I almost had a heart attack. It was like almost close to 1,500. So it's quite the fall. Okay, so they have a 90-day reprieve. Let's talk about this word. reprieve. reprieve. 유예죠. 뭐를 연기를 하는 건데 it's not a word that we often use in everyday conversation.
Yeah, it's usually more official type of settings that we
Right.
would use this word. It means to extend or even take a break from.
Yeah.
So you can feel it sounds like a 90-day break or freeze of these tariffs.
That's right. So it's this is commonly used in kind of legal terms, especially when it comes to like capital punishment or something with the prison system. If they get a reprieve, they get it's temporarily delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But it's not a word that you often see. But in this case, yes, tariff, 90-day reprieve.
Good
Okay.
news
Good
for
news.
yeah.
Well, that is true. All right. President Trump has announced a tariff hike on China to 125%, while granting other countries a 90-day reprieve from reciprocal tariffs. The news sent the New York stock market soaring and caused the Korean won to sharply strengthen against the dollar.